Right here, Jordan. All right, state championship players, we're coming back to blinds of 10,000, 20,000, with a 20,000 big blind ante. Shuffle up and deal. 10K, 20K, 20K big blind ante. Tim.
Ready when you guys are. Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Rough Rider Poker Tour feature table live stream. This is Championship Sunday of the RPT Casino State Championship. It is the biggest day in North Dakota poker history, and that is no exaggeration, folks. We are playing the largest poker tournament ever in North Dakota. 1,304 entries, $221,680 prize pool. There's 69 players remaining, guys, and somebody is walking away with $41,300 for first place, alongside a $10,700 WSOP main event package. That's $52,000 total for first place today. This is your first feature table lineup of the day. It is a very tough table of heavy hitters here. Kicking things off in the one seat is Eric Beam with $680,000. Next to him is David Ogden with $500,000. In the three seat from St. Anthony, that is Steve Berger with $430,000. Greg Pesa, he was one of our 5 Hall of Fame inductees earlier this morning. From Velva, he is sitting with 780,000 chips. From Great Falls, Montana, Austin Gates in the 5 seat has $325K. One of the toughest players on the table and one of the toughest players in the room, Robert Urbach, is in the 7 with $910,000. Lance Olson from Mott in the 8 seat has $235K, and rounding us out all the way from Butte, Montana is Jimmy Hadley, $455K. We are playing 10K, 20K with a 20K big blind ante. We came back to day 2 with 139 players. We had 20 double bag bonuses for $710. 2 players triple bagged, Brent Slaybaugh and Greg Pesa. Just an enormous prize pool all around. It's been an insane weekend, and we have some big action here as Lance raises to 60K with pocket 8s. David Ogden 3-bets the ace-jack of spades, and Steve Berger from the cutoff all in for $430. We'll see if anybody looks them up. It folds back to David Ogden, who 3-bet the ace-jack. It is for a large chunk of his stack. And honestly, ace-jack really shrinks up in a spot like this when you get 4-bet jammed on. Pretty much always a pocket pair or a better ace you're going to run into. Not too often the 4-bet jam has ace-10, especially this deep in this tournament caliber like this. So a good disciplined fold there from David. He's going to regroup. He still has about 17, 18 big blinds, so plenty of chips for him to work with. We've got Benny Palmer in the box starting things off today. As always, we're on a 15-minute delay. We are live on the Rough Rider Poker Tour Facebook page, Dakota Poker Tour Facebook page, as well as the Rough Rider Poker Tour YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to share this video. We are going to bring you live stream action all the way down to the final table today, and we will play this thing out. If I had to set a rough estimate, I would say this tournament is going to wrap up around 11 p.m. to midnight tonight. Could be a very late night. We'll see if we can get the final hand dealt before the ball drops for New Year's Eve.
Thank you. Last chance tournament, 300, 600, 600 big blind hand.
Some huge final table payout jumps. Once we get there, right now, players guaranteed here. Let me take a look. We're down to 66. So our current payouts are $465 up until 63rd is the next pay ladder. Pretty gradual. Everybody in the top 27 is a thousandaire. We'll do a 3-table redraw once we get down to 27 players. And like I mentioned, some nice pay jumps all the way up to first place prize. $41,300 plus the $10,700 WSOP main event seat, $52K in total. The largest prize ever awarded in North Dakota poker history. LJ Trottier, he came into day 2 as your chip leader. He is all in now with Ace Jack. He is in good shape against Austin Gates. It would be for his tournament life there. He lays it down. Pot over to LJ. We do have our $120 last chance tournament going on. Registration is still open for that for another 4 levels and a 15-minute break. $120 buy-in with 2 optional $100 add-ons. So that prize pool has gotten very nice. I believe there's 8 tables running for that. Now we do, of course, have 10-7 Poker Heaven, 24/7 live game action here. Players will be playing cash games later when they get eliminated. And should be a pretty wild night here at Spirit Lake Casino. It is New Year's Eve. It's going to be a fun one. You've got Keith Lauder III joining you in commentary to start things off today. I'm sure you'll get a variety of voices in your ears as the day progresses, but I am happy to kick things off. If you didn't know already, we haven't made a Facebook post yet, but we did have our Hall of Fame ceremony. The inductees, the very first 5 inductees to the Rough Rider Poker Tour Hall of Fame. They were as follows. Number 1, Steve Singer from Jamestown, currently living in Colorado. He could not make it today. Aaron Rapp from Jamestown accepted his Hall of Fame award for him. Number 2, the returning legend himself, Paul Wu-Tang Jane. He's been out of state for a couple years. He returned. He's been crushing this weekend. He is still in the tournament. He was our 2nd Hall of Fame member. Our 3rd member from Carrington was Arlie Brandvold, the notorious, the legendary Arlie Brandvold. He is our reigning Rough Rider Poker Tour Player of the Year. Awesome to see him win that award. Our 4th inductee is right here at this table, Greg Pesa from Velva. He was our record-breaking Player of the Year back in 2018. Just a consistent crusher. And right on cue, he bagged up 3 times in this tournament. So he got himself an extra $710 twice for double bag bonus. And he has got a chip stack. And he has got a shot at some huge money here today. And our 5th and final inductee, RPT founder all the way back in 2003, 2004, Eric Nordy Nordstrom. He wrapped things up with our ceremony. It was beautiful, gave a speech. Everything about it was wonderful. If you were here, thanks for being here. We're going to get some pictures of that on Facebook later today. So Steve Berger with the pocket ducks, going to raise to $45,000. Austin Gates pocket trays going to make the call. Going to fold around to the blinds. They are out of there. Jimmy, though, He's got a nice little suited 5-3 of diamonds. Is going to call the extra 25K. So here we go, 3 ways to the flop. Ace, 4, 8. Pocket threes, still the best hand, but all over cards for Steve and Austin. Austin going to c-bet this one. In position. Whoa, that is a c-bet, all right. That is all in for 230,000. Wowzers. Putting these guys to the test. And it is going to get through. Nice play from Austin. I did not see that hand playing out that way. He knows that flop is definitely in his range. All the aces that hit for the pre-flop raiser. He's thinking these guys might not have one. They didn't raise me back pre-flop, so he's going to go ahead and represent it, and he is happy to take it down right then and there. He's back up to 400,000, which is just under 20 big blinds, 395K. Casino State Championship, folks. That is right. We are down to 64 players in this Rough Rider Poker Tour, Dakota Poker Tour co-op event. A record-breaking 1,304. We are up from our 1,120 last year. It was just an absolutely epic, amazing, crazy, chaotic weekend. Happy to be a part of it. Thank you guys, everybody listening who was able to show up and play or just support us and follow along on the live streams over the weekend. We appreciate you as well. We'll be back in 13 days for the season opener. That is, as always, at the Harvey Eagles Club, Harvey, North Dakota. Second Saturday in January to kick off the 2024 season. And we did tease it a little bit, but we do have some big announcements to make. We are stepping foot into some brand new casinos in 2024. All of that will be revealed in the coming weeks, and we will drop the biggest bombshell of all there in Harvey about our most exciting prospect in 2024. So if you want to hear that firsthand, you better be at the Harvey Eagles Club for the 2024 RPT season kickoff tournament. Heads up here, Jimmy Hadley, Queen 5, Eric Beam, 7 deuce of clubs. Eric is going to flop a flush draw here. Jimmy's got squadoosh. He's got some backdoors there with the Queen of clubs. But he's going to think better of it. And we're going to be on to the next one. So we will also crown the 2023 Rough Rider Poker Tour Player of the Year. Current front runner for that is Duff Deseth. He is no longer in the main event, but he is playing the last chance right now for a chance to boost his points. And after crunching the numbers and looking at the leaderboard, a lot has to go right for a lot of this to happen, but there are about 20 players and change who could possibly win this tournament and have enough points to jump everybody. But like I said, there has to be a lot of variables and stuff, like the players in the top 5, don't have a deep run, and a lot of stuff has to happen for these bottom 20 guys to make the miracle jump and overtake Player of the Year. But there are some players still in the field with that possibility, one of them being reigning Player of the Year Arlie Brandvold. I believe he came in about 7th in points on the leaderboard, and he is still fighting out there. Zach Byers was number 2. He is no longer in the main event. I believe Kevin Selby is still in. He is in the top 5. Weston Wells, unfortunately, was eliminated, but he is in the last chance right now. As we have some big hands here. Oh, my goodness. LJ, Ace-Jack raises to 50K. Rob Urbach 3-bets the Ace-King to 150, and Eric Beam in the small blind wakes up with 2 kings. This could be disastrous for Rob Urbach. LJ probably going to be able to get away from the ace-jack here and not go broke. Let's see how this one plays out. Wow, very interesting hand. Cooler scenario. As we see one of Robert's outs going into the muck here if LJ folds the ace-jack. Eric just flats with the kings. Wow. Very disguised here. Very interesting. And he's going to give LJ a good price now. And also doesn't exactly set the alarms off as much. LJ might think, oh my goodness. So it does set up an all-in from LJ and an all-in from Rob, I believe. And back to Eric now. Rob quickly put chips in. This is a crazy hand. And it does look like a three-way all-in. Ace-king for Rob. Ace-jack for LJ. 2 kings for Eric Beam. He is set to win a monster pot. Robert does have them both covered. Can he find an ace? Wow, here we go.
Ace-king, ace-jack, and pocket kings. Get it all in a big three-way pot here.
One time, Jimmy. One time. This is a good time, player. I have ace king.
Can Rob Urbach find the ace for the double elimination? Can LJ find lightning in a bottle and somehow survive with the ace-jack, or will Eric Beam's kings win an almost 2 million chip pot? Benny is crunching these stacks, counting them down. Let's find out. This is the all-in of the tournament so far here with 60-some players remaining.
Side pot of over 600. So we'll run it out here.
So here we go. The all-important flop coming.
Flop comes queen, 4 deuce, all hearts.
Oh my. Rob can only hit the ace of clubs now. Can Rob find the miracle?
There's a 6 of diamonds, so we just got to avoid the 1 outer, the ace of clubs. 5 of spades.
Wow. Eric Beam with the clean run out. Kings hold. LJ will be eliminated. Rob is going to be crippled. But I know he is a short stack wizard. We'll see if he can run it back up. Wow, that was a crazy, crazy hand. Eric Beam played that hand wonderfully. He just flatted the 3-bet. And he got LJ to shove it all in with the ace-jack. Rob quickly all in behind him. And his very disguised hand of pocket kings. It pays off wonderfully for him. Now he's up to 1.9 million. Rob Urbach, 6 bigs in a dream. Definitely do not count a player of his caliber out. We'll see if he can spin it back up. Wow, what a hand.
Blind on blind, looks like ace queen all in up against 9-10.
I know I would have lost nothing.
Flop comes king 5-8. Turn is a 6, he's got to avoid a 7, 9, or a 10.
I knew he was strong, but he could be
3 on the river, ace queen high, you will double.
doesn't matter. Nice hand.
So our live stream is up now. So let us know in the chat, guys. Let us know who you're rooting for, where you're watching from, and we appreciate you joining us. 40 live viewers right off the bat here. A lot of fan favorites left in the field, let me tell you that much. A lot of heavy hitters in the North Dakota, Minnesota, Montana poker scene. A lot of good players in this thing. A lot of tough Canadians were in this field as well. Eric Beam on the button. Ace-8 raises to 50. Steve calls from the big blind with Ace-Jack, and that is a wonderful flop for Steve Berger. Ace-7-3. Top pair with a jack kicker. He checks it over to Eric. He's got top pair with backdoor clubs. He's going to bet 60K. Steve going to make the call. Turn is a jack. Top 2 pair now for Steve. Looks like he wants to lead out at this pot now. He's going to bet 80,000. So he's going to take the lead in this pot, and Eric looks like he just makes the call on the turn. He is drawing dead. He does not hit an 8, though, so probably, oh, wow, Steve all in. Pretty gross spot for Eric. There's just not a lot of weaker aces that are going to take this line. The Ace-6, Ace-5s. I don't think they're just going to check call and then lead, turn, jam, river. So you got to think, if you're Eric, that Steve has a better hand. Ace-9, Ace-10, Ace-Jack. Definitely, probably not bluffing is Steve Berger in this particular spot. So a good fold from Eric Beam. And we're down to 60 players remaining here. Championship Sunday of the RPT Casino State Championship. Folds to Jimmy Hadley in the hijack. He is going to raise it to 45,000. Folds to David Ogden on the button, and he is all in, it looks like, with a mystery hand. I don't think Jimmy is going to be strong enough to call this one off. And he does not have the chips to do so. He is going to get out of the way. He's still got 15 bigs. Here we go. Rob Urbach has got 6 bigs. He makes a good disciplined fold there with the suited Queen 8.
6-7 versus 9. Looks like 9's got a locked up.
Hoping he can find a nice spot in the next orbit to get his chips in the middle. Jimmy Hadley, though, going to raise to 45K with a 9-8. Eric calls with pocket 6s.
All in pot, Ace King. All in versus Bottom Pocket Jack.
So here we go. We just saw 6 head into the muck. We'll see if Eric
Flop comes Ace 4.
can keep the lead on this flop, or if Jimmy can spike something with the 9-8. Flop comes King, Jack, 3, 6s, still in the lead, but Jimmy going to continue, and that's a bad flop for Eric. He may just get out of the way here. He does. Nice play from Jimmy. Not panicking on the short stack there. Opening the 9-8 in early position. The aggression pays off for him. He is happy to be adding those chips to his stack. Currently at about 70 live viewers here, 2:27 p.m. real time. Thank you guys for watching. It's been an amazing weekend, and we are happy to bring the conclusion of this amazing tournament to you guys via live stream production. Thank you to Goose and Jared from Fargo coming all the way, setting up this awesome table and setup with everything involved. And we're happy to bring this live stream to you guys in the comfort of your own homes. If you enjoy this live stream production, they'll be live again next weekend at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas. Good luck to all you guys listening here that are going down to play. It is the FPN, the Free Poker Network National Championship at the Golden Nugget. I will be down in Vegas next week myself, and I believe I am able to play that tournament. That is on Sunday, January 7th. So keep an eye out for a picture of KL3 in the winner's circle there at the Golden Nugget. You just never know. Kid with a dream, folks. Putting in those hours this weekend. Couple days of rest and recovery back at home in Bismarck, and then on Thursday we are off to the desert for a week-long poker adventure. Can't wait.
Blinds are up in the last chance, 400, 800, 800 big blind ante, 488, next hand.
So folding around to the cutoff, Greg Pacer looks down at pocket deuces. Looks like he's going to open this pot. And he's got some short stacks on the left of him. He is going to rip it all in. He's got to get through the big blind now. And he does get through everyone, and he's going to take that pot. Folds to Austin Gates in the cutoff. He's got king queen. He's going to raise to 45,000. Jimmy in the big blind going to call with the 6 deuce of clubs. Wow, interesting flop. 9, 8, 7, 2 clubs. That's an open-ender and a flush draw for Jimmy. He's going to take the lead by betting this one, 40,000. Not exactly the flop Austin had in mind. He is still out in front with king high, but a pretty wet flop there, 7, 8, 9. No gut shots, just 2 overcards. He's got backdoor clubs. But a nice play from Jimmy to take that one there on the flop.
All in, call, table 6.
Steve Berger opening under the gun +1 with King Queen. Folding around. Oh, Rob had the deuces there, but not looking to flip just yet. And it looks like that'll do it. Pot over to Steve Berger. Folds to Rob in the hijack. He's got Queen 3 of hearts. He's going to rip it all in. We'll see if he can get that through, if he runs into a little resistance. So far, so good. He's just got to get through the big blind, it's looking like. And David slams in the call. He's got ace-king. So Rob is live with the Queen 3 of hearts, looking to spike a little help to stay alive. Get himself up to 14 big blinds if he were to hit this one. Good flop for Rob. He's out in front. Can he fade the 6 outer? Excuse me, the 7 counterfeits him now. Wow. Nice run out for Rob Erb. He is back to 14 big blinds, and he is pumped up about it. So we're down to 50-some players and change now. I heard some seat opens. Not sure exactly where we're at, but they are dropping. Eric Beam still chip leader with 1.6 million at this feature table. All the way down to Lance Olson now, 9 bigs, 195,000. Oh my goodness, Austin Gates Going to raise to 50,000 with Queen Jack, but Rob Urbach finds 2 kings. Fresh off that double up, he's all in for 280K. Oh, wow, what a spot. Steve Berger finds queens, and he is all in. That is going to save Austin Gates' tournament life. He's going to have to get out of there now. Rob in great shape, just has to fade a 1-outer as it stands. Running straight or flush cards would be pretty disgusting as well. He's got the spades covered. Flop comes 10, 5, 7. Excellent flop. Can he fade the 1 out? 3 on the turn. Come on, Rob. Jack on the river. He is back to 640,000 just like that. And Steve Berger now at 560K. Still plenty to work with. Wow, what a spot. What a spot for Rob. And just like that, outhouse back to the penthouse. There you see a look at our outer tables. He's talking to his buddy Paul Johnson. Some very tough players there. The defending runner-up Nate Anderson of this tournament last year is sitting there, as well as Josh Dukeshire. Very tough Canadian player Leo Leclerc. A lot of very good players. Kellen Hunter was there as well. Those are just some of the big names left here in this Casino State Championship. $57 players remaining. Lance Olson on the short stack finding ace king. He is going to be all in, I would assume, here. Not much else you can do with a 9 big blind stack, but you can raise it to 45K. Interesting. So he gets looked up by, no, I thought Queen Jack of Diamonds looked him up there. They did not. And that's going to be good for the pot there for Lance. Up to 245K, 12 big blinds. Here we go, on to the next one. Rob Urbach now. He's got some chips to maneuver with. He does not have to go all in every hand he plays anymore, so he's got ace-king under the gun. Let's see how he proceeds. Just going to raise it to 55,000. Greg in the small blind with the ace-9 offsuit. Troublesome scenario. Makes a good discipline fold. And Austin with the pretty-looking 7-5 of diamonds. I don't know if this is the hand he wants to make his final stand with. He might be thinking he's got enough to peel. He does move all in. Snap call from Rob. Austin is live with the 7-5 of diamonds for his tournament life.
All in 5-7 of diamonds versus ace king versus Robert Urbach. Ace in the window, ace king deuce.
Top 2, Austin needs running straight cards or diamonds. Oh my. Never easy.
9 of diamonds.
Jeez. Oh my God, he couldn't have been more farther behind on the flop. And he catches lightning in a bottle, running diamonds. That is going to sit him back down. Rob is just going to laugh it off. Ace-King burns him twice on this feature table so far. My goodness. But good news for Robert. He still has 410,000. That is 20 big blinds. And for a player like that, that is a lot of chips.
I have no. Do I have any faults with my range there? I would have liked it better if you said, I knew you were going to call and I knew I was going to hit a flush. Get bored, maybe I'll play a hand. I played like 100 hands yesterday.
Eric going to raise early position with the 6-deuce off, feeling a little frisky. Greg Pace has got ace-8 on the button. He's going to think better of it. Let's see if the 6-deuce comes home. Looks like it will indeed. No, it will not indeed. Robert going to defend with the 4-3 of hearts. Here we go, heads up. King 4-7, Robert out in front with bottom pair.
The main event, 15,000, 30,000, 30,000, big blind ante. Main event blinds are up.
He checks, and Eric going to continue the story. Because why not? You're going to open with 6-deuce. You might as well barrel it. He bets 60K. Not the greatest flop in the world for Rob. Just bottom pair. He knows that king is definitely a card in the raising range of Eric, but he makes the call. He's going to make him earn it on this one. Turn is a 9. He checks it. Will Eric give up, or will Eric put Rob to the test and put them all in here? He checks it back, and the river is a 5. So Rob with the best hand at showdown. If he does not get pushed off it, he's left with bottom pair. Will Eric give up? He does just give up, and Rob is going to be happy to scoop this one with a pair of 4s. And he's back up to 530K. Eric Beam still with 1.5 million. Yeah, Eric, as we can see the cards at home, everything looks pretty easy, but he did have the green light go there on the turn and the river. If he were to put Rob to the test, I think this pot would have been his, but he's very leery of a tough player like Rob laying in the weeds with a monster hand and letting him do the driving. So Rob's going to scoop that one after making a nice call on the flop with bottom pair. And here we have the lovely Jessica Kendall joining our feature table. Welcome to the box. She's put in a lot of hours this weekend. Always appreciate having her on tour. Eric Beam going to raise the ace queen. And it's going to fold around, so pot over to Eric. Closing in on 100 live viewers at the moment, guys. Thank you so much for watching.
All in pot, table 7. Pocket queens versus 7. 7's the one at risk. Flop comes ace 9 ace. Turn is a 6. River's an 8, queen fold. Payout.
Austin Gates in the cutoff raises to 65,000 with king 10. And that's good for that pot. 56 players remaining. Rough Rider Poker Tour Casino State Championship main event. It was a real who's who this weekend for sure. All the best players in North Dakota, Montana, Eastern Montana, Western Minnesota. They all made the trek out here to Devil's Lake to play in this thing. Wish we would have had some more players from Minneapolis. Would love for some of those guys to get a chance to experience the RPT. They have so many great events all the time in the Twin Cities area. Just tough to justify them coming all the way out here, but we put on a great show. We heard a lot of compliments, and we have a very cooler situation here as I interrupt my own thoughts. Queens for David Ogden. He is going to get looked up by Jimmy Hadley, who has ace-king in the small blind. And Jimmy is all in. Off to the races for David's tournament life. Will the queens hold, or will Jimmy Hadley scoop in a nice pot? 10, 5 deuce. Safe flop so far. So good for David Ogden. Turn is a 10. He needs to fade an ace or a king. King of clubs. My goodness. You live by the ace-king, you die by the ace-king. He had it against Rob. Could not bust him when Rob had the queen 3, and here he has it against. He has queens against ace-king, and he cannot fade with one card to come. Nice run for David Ogden. He is eliminated. Pot over to Butte, Montana. Poker grinder Jimmy Hadley. Folds to Lance on the short stack. He shoves ace, jack. All in from the cutoff. We have raised the blinds as well. 15K, 30K we're playing now. So these stacks not quite as deep. And that shove going to get through from one of the members of the Mafia, Lance Olson.
By calling the ace four parts, he's up against stock. He's a 7. Flop from 6, 9, 10. Turn is a 10. Heart sees a heart or an ace, but can't be the 7 of hearts. 3 of hearts back towards a flush to keep him alive.
Oh, you're good, Harry. Harry, send me one of those. Or let's just punt and go play Big O. What's that? I said, or we can just punt and let's go play Big O.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. Yeah. No, I'm commentating. Yeah. Yeah. They can't hear you, no. Lance in the hijack found 9-8 of hearts. He raises to 65,000. Pace, pocket ace. First time we've seen aces here on the feature table today. Let's see if he can find a way to get all of Lance Olson's chips here.
They got you while you're still steamed because you gave chips to Harry.
Once again, tournament players, the blinds are up 600, 1,200. 1,200 big blind ante next hand.
Looks like he puts in the 3-bet, I believe.
Are you here too?
Don't see the graphics just yet. Looked like dropping a couple purples. 25K a piece. And we just got a new player, none other than Masaki Ova from Jamestown, joining this feature table lineup. So Greg with the small 3-bet to 100K to put Lance in a tricky spot. And it does induce him to shove all in with the 9-8. Greg's got aces in a great spot to claim an elimination. Can Lance find some miracle magic here on Championship Sunday? King, Queen, Deuce, 1 heart. He needs runners. Deuce of clubs is not one of it. That will bust Lance Olson, courtesy of recent Hall of Fame inductee Greg Pesa. Greg is now just under 1 million in chips. Second biggest stack here at the table. On to the next one. 52 players remain here on day 2 of the Casino State Championship. Thank you for joining us. We're live from Spirit Lake Casino and Resort. 1,304 entries, a record-breaking field. $221,680 prize pool. The largest prize pool in North Dakota poker history. And we crushed it by 74,000. That's how much we beat the previous record by. So this turnout has absolutely been incredible. Thank you for everybody who played, and thank you for all of you guys listening and following along. We'll be live all day long until the conclusion of this, probably around midnight tonight. Rob Urbach all in for $265K. And he's going to scoop those much needed chips, be back up to $340K. That is 11 big blinds.
But I was gonna run a runner flush you like Harry did. So good fold. Good fold.
Just about 100 viewers now at 2:58 p.m. real time. Thank you guys for joining us. Live on Facebook on the RPT and DPT Facebook pages, as well as Rough Rider Poker Tour on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. You can go back and watch any of our live stream videos anytime you'd like.
I got runner flush against him. I had ace sting and then came ace sting and then running dive.
Folding to Austin. Open up the floodgates in the small blind. He's got king, queen. He's going to raise, and it looks like Rob going to jam the ace-7. He's going to put Austin in a tough spot because they've got similar stacks here. King, queen, you just hate to call it off with a hand like king, queen. So many times you're going to run into ace-X. But blind on blind here, Rob's range is wider than a lot of other positions. He could definitely have some king, jack, king 10 suited type hands and all the smaller pocket pairs as well. Austin and Rob probably have never played together besides this weekend. Not a lot of information to go by, but he does slide in the call, so Rob is ahead at the moment with the ace-7. He is the one at risk. Austin's got 6 big blinds behind. Can Rob hold to get back to $650,000? Here we go. Flop comes 9-7-5, middle pair for Rob. He needs to fade a king, a queen, or backdoor straight or flush cards. Turn is a 3, just a king or a queen. Can he fade it? 3 on the river, fist pump for Rob Erb. He is doubling up. Austin Gates shaking his head, but you are still alive.
Okay, that's the last hand I'm playing.
Still sitting there now with 6 big blinds, and he will be in much need of a double up. Luckily, he's getting the button. The next hand, he'll get a few free ones. Hopefully finds a chance to get those chips in the middle. Rob Urbach happy to be back up to 21 big blinds and change, $650K.
Already been all in 7 times.
Eric Beam still leading this feature table group with 1.5 million. That 3-way all-in with kings was a monster earlier on this live stream if you missed it.
Roller coaster. That's your style. I've had that button like 100 times already. I know, that's what worries me. I need that.
Folds to Rob. He's all in from the small blind with ace-5 of clubs. Jimmy going to peel 9-8, not good enough. Rob going to scoop that and get back up to, you guessed it, folks, $710,000. Speaking of 10s and 7s, if you didn't already know, first place today getting a $10,700 RPT, WSOP main event package. So first place today, $41,300 plus 10-7. That is 52 grand that your champion is winning. This is a enormous payout, the biggest in North Dakota poker history, and I am proud to be a part of it, folks. We will crown your Casino State champion as well as your Rough Rider Poker Tour Player of the Year for 2023. Current frontrunner is Duff Deseth, number 1 in points. He is no longer in the main event, so there are plenty of players within striking distance, depending on how they finish, for a chance to overtake him and go home with that extra $5K package for Player of the Year. The 2024 season starts in 2 weeks, as always, back-to-back. Harvey and Pingaree in North Dakota. We hope to see you there. Greg Pacer looking down at 2 kings. He's raising this pot from the hijack. Jimmy's got the king 8 of hearts here. We'll see if he gets himself in a little bit of trouble. No good discipline there for him. And this pot will be over shortly, courtesy of the 2018 RPT Player of the Year, Greg Pesa. Up to 1.1 million chips now. Well, folks, enjoy the beautiful sound of silence for just a few minutes. I'm going to step out and use the restroom. I will be right back. All right, folks, I am back. Thank you for your patience. I took a walk around the main tournament floor there, got a couple eyes on some big stacks I'd like to report to you. Kellen Hunter, Paul Jane, Sonny Lehman, Aaron Rapp, among some names with a lot of chips out there still grinding. A lot of very tough players left in the field after going table to table there. A lot of worthy champions, let me tell you that much, folks. Austin Gates, ace deuce is all in. He gets looked up by ace 8 of clubs for Jimmy. He's in rough shape. Flop is ace 9, 5, 1 diamond. He's looking for a deuce or running straight or flush cards. King of spades. There are some chop outs. Jack of diamonds, though, not one of them. Or it is one of them. Ace, ace, king, jack, 9, chopping. Wow, okay. Well, on to the next one, folks. As far as players with a chance to overtake the 2023 Player of the Year today left in the field, I don't know if I saw Arlie Brandvold still in there or not. Kevin Selby, I did not see him. Weston Wells, no longer in. Zach Byers, no longer in. I'm not sure exactly how many. Let me pull up the leaderboard here. See if I can remember exactly everybody I saw. Number 6, Chad Himmelsbach, not in. Arlie, I don't think so. David Delaplane, I am not sure if he is still in. Brett Lieben is not. Chad Kelsch is not. Ron Smested is not. Not sure on Wade Schlecht. Terry Johnson. Dave Olette is not. Chad Fowler, I am not sure if he is still in. Mike Baker, Les Hoganson, Jim Bowman, they are not in. Cordell Schroeder, I don't believe he is. Or Josh Unruh. That is the top 20. Those are basically the players with a snowball's chance if they were to make a miracle run here to overtake. So we'll see what happens. Once we get down to about the final 3-table redraw, I'll have a really good idea of just who is left with a chance to overtake that. So Jimmy under the gun with ace-10 raises to 65K. Masaki, Ova, flatting with an unknown hand. Rob's got the RPT stones, 10-7. He's going to call from the big blind. Ace, 9-9. Good flop for Jimmy unless Saki has a better hand underneath. We can't see that just yet. Jimmy going to bet out 120,000. Saki heads for the muck, and so will Rob. Unless Rob's thinking about doing something real spicy with the 10-7 for the live stream, because he has not folded yet. So it'd be very bad timing. He does have Jimmy covered, and he's thinking if Jimmy doesn't have an ace, can't call this one off. Looks like he is going to fold.
What a safe flop spot. They put me on a fucking poster like Harley. If I check jam 7-10 there and it gets through, they have to put you on. They would have had to put me on a poster. I don't know if we got through. It would have been a little. They'd have had to put me on even if I lose, I think. Even if I get snapped and he has aces full. It's like, that was for you, Jared.
Josh Dukeshire, Kellen Hunter, there's some tough players still out there in the field. Paul Jane. It's going to be an entertaining day. A lot of entertaining, very talented poker players left in this thing as we're down to about 50 players here on Championship Sunday. Oh my, here we go, all in. Austin Gates, A7. Greg Pesa, 8-4. Looks like he put him in from the cutoff. Austin called. Did I miss that entire hand? Oh my. Austin, oh. I'm not sure what's going on. All right, then. On to the next one. Masaki Ova, he's got 21 big blinds. He's under the gun with ace-6 of hearts. He's out of there. Folds to Rob on the button with the king-7. Does he want to make the play here and try to take down the blinds and antes? He has 20 big blinds. He is going to raise it up. Looks like 65,000. Jimmy with the 9-8 of diamonds. He's coming along. Eric has the 6 deuce off suit. He gets out of there. So here we go. We'll see if Jimmy can spike something or if Rob will take this one down being in position. Queen, Jack, 5. That is a gutter ball for Jimmy. He's going to check it to Rob. We'll see if he wants to continue. He is going to bet that one. 55,000. And he's going to take that pot down. Back up to 725K, Robert Urbach. So if you're just joining us recently, guys, we did have the Rough Rider Poker Tour Hall of Fame ceremony this morning. We inducted the 5 members into the RPT Hall of Fame. I'll be making a Facebook post later on today with pictures and updates about that. But our inductees were Steve Singer from Jamestown, now living in Colorado. Could not make it. He was our first inductee. Number 2 used to be from Bismarck, now lives in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Paul Wu-Tang Jane. Happy to have him back this weekend. Number 3 was Arlie Brandvold from Carrington, a very deserving player, reigning player of the year. Number 4, right there on this feature table from Velva, Greg Pesa. His breakout year in 2018, Player of the Year run was incredible. He crushed everything. And our 5th and final inductee was the founder of the Rough Rider Poker Tour himself, Eric Nordy Nordstrom. He gave a very heartfelt, emotional speech after receiving his award. It was a great moment there, inducting those guys, getting the round of applause from the room. It was just a really special time. I'm happy I got to be a part of it, induct Greg and Paul in myself. So we'll have some pictures from that later on our Facebook page, as well as all the updates from this tournament and from our Last Chance tournament, which is going on, as well as we'll let you know who wins the Rough Rider Poker Tour Player of the Year for 2023. Meanwhile, Eric Beam and Jimmy Hadley are playing a pot. The flop is 5-4-3. Jimmy with pocket 8s. He's going to take it down on the flop. Eric not interested in continuing there with the ace-8. .49 players remaining. 4 bust outs away from breaking down to our final 5 tables. Once we get down to 27, we will do a final 3-table redraw, complete redraw. So that's exciting. And we will be live streaming all day long until the final hand is dealt tonight, folks. I'm anticipating it to get done between the hours of 11 p.m. and midnight, right before the ball drops. We'll see how close we are. This tournament was huge, I believe. Let me crunch the numbers for you right now. 30,000 times 1,304 is 39,120,000 chips. That's how many chips are in play right now. 39,120,000 divided by 30,000. There are currently 1,304 big blinds in play at this blind level. So this thing is going to eventually start really coming to a halt as players start busting out. There's going to be a point where it really stalls out in the final couple tables. Everybody's going to have so many chips. The bust outs are going to be not so fast and furious, and more so players grinding it out as these 40-minute blind levels slowly start making them a little more close to the danger zone. But I see this thing, just looking at the field, all the great poker talent still in this thing, I think it is going to go very long. But I'm here for it, guys. Most of us extended our hotel rooms tonight. We are here for New Year's Eve. We are ready to close down this weekend. We've got cash games available all night long. Come on down to the casino. Sign up for some of those. Who will close out 2023 as the casino state champion? And how could I forget, folks, when I was going through the field, the most important player of them all, the reigning champion himself, Eric Zietz, is still alive out there. His bid to go back-to-back. We will keep you guys updated on him. Of course, he's got the rail of all the Zietzes. There's always about 7 to 10 Zietzes in tow every time you see one of them at a poker table. So good luck to Eric. He took this down last year, 1,120 entries for 32,130 bucks. He's looking to take down 52 grand if he is your champion today. Austin Gates is all in. Ace-7 on the 5-4-8 flop, 4 on the turn. He's got ace-high with a gut shot straight draw. Jimmy in the blender here with pocket threes. Big decision for him. Steve Berger, as we can see, has the best hand with king 5. Let's see what Jimmy elects to do here. It's one of those flops, one of those boards where threes can be the best hand a lot of the time. We can see that it is not the best. It is ahead of Austin at the moment. But whether Jimmy is to call or fold, it is still a pretty tough decision for Steve Berger. He can't beat an 8. He can't beat a 4. But Jimmy makes a wonderful call against Austin, I should say, which makes Steve's hand really shrink up. He's got 2 guys all in front of him, so he's got to fold the best hand. And we're going to see Jimmy making a hero call with the 2 threes, and Steve is going to see he had the best hand. Let's see this river card. Jimmy needs to fade a counterfeit card or a pair card, straight card, and he does just that. 9 of diamonds. Jimmy Hadley out of Butte, Montana, stacking up chips. That'll do it for Great Falls, Montana's Austin Gates. He was walking the wire here on this feature table, all in and at risk a couple different times. His chip stack was kind of yo-yoing the last hour or so, but he is eliminated. Great run for Austin, a very talented player. Good luck to him if he gets into the last chance tournament here. So Jimmy Hadley now, he is up to 725,000 chips. And this is the last hand, guys. Looks like we are taking a break. I'm not sure if we are on an official break or if we are moving in a new group of players, but it looks like this is the last hand, so I'm going to step back out into the tournament field, guys, and we will see you back here very soon.
Blind drawing, main event, 20K, 40K, 40K baseline ante. 20,000, 40,000, 40,000 big blind ante main event.
It feels like fate. And then I almost check jammed him on an ace-9 board. And I was like, no, I better not do anything this crazy. Like, just as it was on stream, it would have been sick if it works. Even if it doesn't. It's 7-10 and it was on stream. Do something crazy. They're gonna go nuts. And I'm sure they were. Yeah, it was louder and Patrick, so I'm sure they're even watching it going, he's gonna do something crazy here. Because I probably had the look in my eye like I was gonna do something crazy. Benny's seen that a lot of times. Like, oh man, Rob's thinking of doing something weird here. Or he has ace. In Benny's case, it's usually because I have ace.
All right, guys, I am back. Took another stroll through the tournament area. Tons of tough players left in this thing. Reigning Casino State Champion Eric Zeitz still alive. Paul Jane still alive out there. Kellen Hunter. A couple players that have a snowball's chance to steal that Player of the Year are still alive, like Cordell Schroeder, Josh Unruh, Terry Johnson. Scary Terry. Kerry Yoder is still alive out there. Curtis Baloki still in there. Steve Belland, a very talented player, still in the outer tables. Pretty much a who's who, like I said before. All the best players in the area are here this weekend. And they say the cream of the crop rises to the top. And there are a lot of the elite still in this tournament.
Come to play big O with me. Win. Yeah, I'd be down with that. They just like the fun of the game. I was gonna play the other night and then I ended up playing all night. Yeah, I knew that would happen. That's why I didn't get in.
So yeah, crunching the numbers, depending on what happens, I'm seeing players from about the top 25. So let's say the bottom players there on the top 25 on the leaderboard were to win first place, depending on what these other players do in the main event and also in the last chance tournament. A lot of crazy things could happen. So we'll follow along and we'll get a complete list of names when we do the complete three-table redraw, and we'll have that available with us back here in the commentary booth so we can keep track. But yeah, a lot of great players in the field. We'll see how this thing shakes out. We got a long day ahead. 47 players remain, I believe. So Steve going to 3-bet pocket 10s to 300K, more than half his stack. Back to Jimmy, who opened with the 6s, and he gets out of the way. Good fold from him. Not much to work with there for Eric Beam since that pocket king's hand. He's still sitting at 1.3 million.
A break in about 9.5 minutes, during which time the 100 denomination chips will be removed from play. So I'm asking one player at each table to kindly start gathering up the 100 chips, and please keep in mind to not slow up the action while you're buying or selling chips. Thank you. We don't have that same deal, by the way. No deal. Knocked me out.
Folds to Matt Johnson, our newest player here on this feature table. Don't know anything about him, but he is here, and he's raising ace-3 on the button to 100,000. And it looks like that will do things for this hand.
Second chance tournament players, it will be a 30-minute dinner break.
Under the gun, Saki has pocket 9s. He is all in. The blinds are now 20K, 40K, so he's got about 14 big blinds. We'll see if he runs into any roadblocks here. And that'll do the job for Saki, taking that one down.
So once again, last chance tournament players, this will be a 30-minute break upcoming here. 30-minute dinner break. Late registration and
Wow,
registration.
Eric Beam started the day. I'm looking at the day 2 stats. He was 118th out of 139 in chips. He was one of our chip leaders not too long ago when he won that three-way all-in with Kings. Still got 1.3 million, still running it up. Harlan Miller is also alive there out in the field. Couple tough younger players that I'm not familiar with that I've seen running up chips all weekend long. I'll try to get some information on them as the tournament progresses. Nate Anderson, the defending runner-up. So the top 2 players last year for New Year's are still alive, looking for that repeat final table performance. Andrew Lynch from Williston, he's still alive out there. Ken Hager from Miles City. J.R. Perlyberg from Pingree. I believe Awesome Bossum Habib from Moorhead, still alive, a grinder on the DPT there from the Fargo area. Sonny Lehman from Rugby, still grinding. Leo Leclerc from Manitoba, he is still out there. Miles Torgerson from Jamestown. Josh Dukeshire from Minot. James Wilson, very tough player from Wahpeton. He's got some MSPT final table experience under his belt. He is still alive. Kellen Hunter, who came in second in chips, he's still alive out there. The day 2 chip leader, LJ Trottier, no longer with us. He busted from this feature table. Keith Rickford came in top 5 in chips. He's still alive. Scary Terry, Trevor Lesmeister, Seth Hillerin, all those guys still fighting here on day 2 with about 46 players remaining. Going to be breaking down to 5 tables here very shortly. Folds to Jimmy in the cutoff, King Jack. He's going to raise to 90. The youngster from Cody, Wyoming, Bradley Fick, is still in this tournament as well. His first ever Rough Rider in North Dakota. He's played in Billings before. Him and his dad, Mike, made the trek out there. I told him how awesome New Year's is, and we're happy to have him. Mike made the money here for day 2, and his son Bradley is got a real shot at some huge money up top still today. $45 hands in already on this feature table today. Time sure does fly, folks. We're looking at 3:40 p.m. real time. These guys are grinding. They've been grinding for days looking for double bags, triple bags. We ended up with 20 double baggers, only 2 triples. That was Greg Pesa, who is still alive and at this feature table, and Brent Slaybaugh, who is no longer in the main event. Jimmy going to raise the 10-7 in the hijack. He knows a good hand when he sees one. Folds to Greg, who's got ace-4 in the big.
Nice.
Turn the queen.
Easy game. Put him on
They
a
want
poster.
10
You gotta give him all the
straight for
food,
Trevor.
bro. That's the important thing. That's why I was like, I should have shoved a pre-flop after you get a fold on that. Now that I saw what you had, I would have too. You had ace 10, right? Going on with ace 9, 9.
But yeah, going back to that leaderboard talk for Player of the Year, it just goes to show just no matter how good of a season you've had, guys like Zach Byers who have been absolutely playing every event, 25 cashes he had on the year. There's so many players who won and placed high in a lot of these huge casino weekends along the way. It's been a close race, but this tournament, very important. Monster payout up top, 41,300 plus the 10-7. So that's 413 points that somebody's going to get for winning this thing. So we'll see how it shakes out, and we'll crunch the numbers and let you know just who winds up going home with that 2023 RPT Player of the Year 5K prize package.
I have no idea what their channel is. I think there's a link on the Dakota Rough Riders site on Facebook. Maybe on their homepage. I think you can just look up Rough Riders. Either one. They just said either one of whichever. They're gonna get in a fight. They're gonna get a fight. You're talking to the DPT guy there too. Yeah. They're right up there. Goose? Hi, Goose. I love Goose. He's great. Hell yeah.
Masaki in the hijack. He's got Queen, Jack offsuit.
Second chance tournament. If you are under the 70,000 starting stack, you may also forfeit your chips. And
He is all in for 555,000. And Steve Berger in the cutoff right next door. Pocket eights for very similar stacks. He's going to make the fold. Greg folds Jack 10. Fives for Matt Johnson. Huge chunk of his chips to make the call with a small pair.
Add-ons are closed in 30 minutes. 4:15 will be the restart. Second chance. 4:15.
So Matt folds the pocket fives. And it's going to fold to Rob Urbach in the big blind. And he's out of there with the queen six. So Saki takes that one. Gets himself back to 655K.
If I'd had 5 out of 10. You guys how much? 555? I have pocket 5 chips. Yeah, I knew that was good. You're like, I have aces. I don't care. Did you watch it on stream? The cooler. Did you watch it? It's been a train wreck. I've been all in like 36 times since then. Won some, lost some.
On to hand number 48 of today's feature table live stream. Still need to lose one or two more players to break down to the final 5 tables. Still showing 47 remaining. The Sunday Last Chance add-on tournament just went on their 30-minute dinner break. So you've got 30 minutes left to get into that one if you are listening and nearby Spirit Lake Casino. 30 minutes, 4:15 p.m. real time. Come on down, $100, $120 buy-in with $100 add-ons. Looks like a nice prize pool that was generated over there. Matt Johnson raising the button with ace-10 of diamonds, and Jimmy in the big blind found the ace king. And let's see, he is all in for 1.2 million. Tough spot for Matt. Pretty strong hand on the button here. You just got the blinds to worry about. He doesn't probably know anything about Jimmy Hadley's game. It is for all of his chips if he wants to call it off with the ace 10 of diamonds. Tough spot here for Matt. Jimmy cool as a cucumber there in the 9 seat. It looks like some table talk going on there. Can't hear what they're saying, but Jimmy's laughing, smiling. So Matt does make the discipline lay down, and we're on to the next one. Hey, how's it going? Busto? You still in? Oh, man. Damn. Folds to Rob on the button. He's got the 7-4. Let's see if he wants to try to take the blinds. He does not. Jimmy with the Jack 10 in the small blind. He's got the big stack. Eric Beam to worry about in the big blind. He's going to complete for another 20K, and Eric, he's got Queen 4 offsuit. Looks like he's reaching, though. He is going to bump it up to 115,000. Jimmy quickly coming along. Similar stacks here. Off to the flop we go. Ace, 10, deuce, 2 spades. Pair of 10s for Jimmy. Some backdoor draws for Eric Beam. He is going to bet 75K after a check from Jimmy. Jimmy quickly going to... it looks like he might have slid in for a check raise. He did indeed. And that'll probably end things right here. Yeah, Eric is out of there. Nice play from Jimmy Hadley, up to 1.6 million. And the new chip leader here at this feature table. $20K, $40K blinds. We'll take another break at the conclusion of this level, I believe. It's going to fold to Jimmy Hadley on the button. He's got ace-3. Raises to 90,000. Saki's got the 8-7. In the big blind, he's going to put in the call. Here we go to the flop. 9-6 deuce. Good flop for Saki. He's open-ended. He will check it over to Jimmy. Jimmy going to continue for 110,000. Saki with the check raise, all in. Nice play from him. Jimmy would have to make a real hero call, as we just picked up Nate Anderson to the table, which means we must be down to the final 5 tables. Jimmy's still in the tank here. He is going to fold, so nice one there for Masaki Ova. He is back to 875,000. Kellen Hunter from Minot joining this lineup as well. This is going to be a tough, it was already a tough table. It's going to be a lot tougher now. Both of these players were on the final table last year, I believe, for the Casino State Championship. History repeating itself. Here we go, on to hand 51. Full table of 9. A couple sharks have entered the water. Kellen Hunter and Nate Anderson now at this feature table. I think they got Kellen's chip stack wrong. It says he brought over 420 million. Pretty impressive if that is the case, but I believe it's probably 420,000. And Nate Anderson's got 435K. Folds to Saki in the small blind, Queen Jack. He's going to raise to 120, and Steve is going to call in the big blind with Queen Jack as well. So let's see if anything crazy happens here. Both players share the same hand. They each have opposite suits. King 10-6, so they both flop an open-ended straight draw. Let's see who is going to be more aggressive on this flop. So it looks like Saki bet that flop, Steve called, and Saki continued on the turn. Nice play from him, and that is going to take that pot down. He's up to 1.1 million. Steve, a little dicey, down to 9 big blinds with 350K. Matt Johnson under the gun. He has ace king. Raises to 110,000. Kellen Hunter with 420 million. Just 420K. He's got an unknown hand. He is going to send it into the muck. Rob looking down at the 3 deuce. Hasn't folded yet. Thought he had a little something spicy up in his mind there. Ace jack for Nate. He's down to 11 big blinds. Shaking his head. He's got one of those troublesome hands and he knows it. We can see he is dominated by the ace king of Matt. Good discipline laydown from Nate. Eric Beam, who is looking to get back on the horse, hasn't won a pot for quite a while. He's got queen jack of hearts, but not interested in this one. And Steve all in from the small blind with ace-7 of diamonds. That's going to get Greg's 5s out of there and a snap call from Matt. Steve's tournament life on the line. He is looking for some help. King, 3, 4, 1 diamond. He needs running cards now to steal it. Queen of clubs, not one of them. That will bust Steve Berger in at least 45th place. Nice run for him, the man from St. Anthony. Tons of RPT wins under his belt and a very deep run. Nice finish this weekend. Pot over to Matt Johnson. Folds to Nate Anderson. Early position. He's got 6s. He's got 11 big blinds. He's going to raise it up to 100,000. Folding around. Greg on the button. Small blind, excuse me. Was a dead button, and that'll do it. Pot over to Nate. Happy to scoop that. He's up to 535K. Thank you guys for joining us. If you're just tuning in, we are live from Spirit Lake Casino and Resort. This is the Casino State Championship, our 2nd annual. I'm hoping we can do it every New Year's until the end of time. This one was a record-breaking turnout. 1,304 entries, creating a prize pool of $221,680. If that sounds pretty big, well, it is the largest prize pool in North Dakota poker history by about $74,000. So very incredible. Amazing turnout. 1,304 entries. First place is $41,300. And on top of that is a $10,700 main event prize package to the World Series of Poker. So 52 grand your champion is going to take tonight. Absolutely incredible. Nate with ace jack of diamonds raises to 100K. Let's see if he wakes up to any resistance. And it will fold around.
All in a call. What's going on over here? Looks like J.R. Perleberg's got kings on the turn versus Sonny's king jack of spades. So he's got to fade a queen or any spade in the entire deck. Deuce of spades, my goodness.
I'm having a great time back here. I'm having a blast.
Payout.
It's been very exciting. It's been a very good feature table group so far. You just caught me in a lull. You can put on the headset if you want. There's a second one. Sure. Just got to punch this on. Okay, you should be live. You just kind of flip it over your ear this way, I believe. Over the back of your head. You can't hear anything. You're just watching the screen and talking. I am joined here in the commentator booth for a brief amount of time by none other than Chad Kelsch. Chad, welcome to the booth.
Thanks.
Chad's going to watch a little feature table live stream action. He played the Casino State Championship. Did you bag for day 2 today, Chad?
No, I did not.
Did not have chips. Are you in the last chance tournament right now?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Happy to hear it. Good luck to you out there.
Thanks. See Rob with that confident fold there?
He did fold very confidently.
What happened with him? He got in a huge, crazy three-way pot.
He did. So that pot was pretty insane, and it happened like this. He 3-bet the ace-king after LJ Trottier opened ace-jack. He 3-bet ace-king right next door. Eric Beam there in the 1 seat had kings, just flatted the 3-bet, which induced LJ, when it came back around with ace-jack, to 4-bet jam the ace-jack. That got Rob, obviously, to snap all in with ace-king, and Eric Beam sitting in the weeds with kings. He makes the call. Kings hold. Robert was crippled, and he was able to spin it back up, and he is still here. LJ Trottier was eliminated on that hand. Pretty wild hand. Like, if he had 4-bet the kings, it could. I don't think it goes any differently that way. But if LJ just flats the ace-jack instead of 4-bet jams, Rob probably doesn't lose nearly as much. It was a pretty bad run out for ace-king and ace-jack. So hard to say what would have happened.
Rob was drawn to one out.
He was, yeah.
Rough. And he spun it back up a little bit.
He did, yeah. He got it in queen 3 of hearts against ace-king. Got fortunate to survive there. Right now, he started this hand with 570K, which isn't a ton. It's 14 big blinds and change, but a player of his caliber, very capable of spinning the distance here. We'll see what happens. Matt Johnson going to raise with king 9 of spades from the cutoff. And your defending runner-up for 20 grand last New Year's, Nate Anderson, looking like he wants to defend the jack 10 there in the big. He is going to put in the call. Nate has 12 big blinds and change behind here. We'll see if he can smash this flop. And smash it he does, Chad. Jack 10-6, top two pair.
Say that qualifies as a smash.
Yeah, that's going to give a gut shot and some backdoor flush draw outs to Matt Johnson.
It's actually Matt Johnson's going to look at that flop and think, well, that's a great flop for me, too.
Yeah,
You know?
Matt does check it back. So Nate was hoping he was going to get the check raise option there, but instead, they're both going to see the 6 on the turn, and Nate is going to lead for 150 now. And now Matt's in a bit of a precarious spot. He may just let it go, and we will move on to the next one. This is our last hand here, Chad, so we're both going to exit the booth. On this note, after this hand, these guys are taking a break, it looks like.
Yep, that's what I committed to, was about 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, you love to hear it. So Matt has not released his hand just yet.
I think he has to.
Yeah, pretty ugly board. He is going to give it up. So Nate going to take those chips happily, increase his stack to 760K. Looks like we are coloring off the blue 5K chips, and we will see you viewers back here in about 20 minutes.
Thanks, Keith.
You bet.
deal, main event, 25, 50, 50.
All right, guys, welcome back. We are live once again here for Championship Sunday of the Rough Rider Poker Tour Casino State Championship. We are down to 41 players remaining, and we have a new feature table lineup for you. Starting us out in the 1 seat, from Fargo, Prairie Rose, North Dakota, I should say, is Curtis Baloki. He's got 1.6 million in chips. Next to him is the reigning Casino State champion from 1 year ago today, Eric Zietz from Garrison, North Dakota. He's got 1.7 million in chips. In the 3 seat, we have Nick Boyum, I believe, from Mahnomen, Minnesota, 475,000. In the 5 seat from Golden Valley, North Dakota, is Sam Fondrick, a very tough player. He was our very first ever Montana Dakota State poker champion all the way back in 2016. He won 14,000 for that one, and he's looking to crush that today. Next to him from Winnipeg, Manitoba, is Leo Leclerc. Leo is one of a group of a lot of talented players from Winnipeg that just discovered RPT in 2023. We're happy to have him here, a very talented player. In the 7th seat from Rugby is fan favorite Sonny Lehman. Sonny is the North Dakota Texas Hold'em champion all the way back in 2007. He won $30,000. He's got a chance to best that today. And rounding us out, he is on the short stack, but he is not short on poker talent. That is Steve Belland from Bagley, Minnesota. He's got 5 bigs and a dream. Here we go. A nice group here. Should be some very entertaining poker for you guys. Jessica Kendall back in the box, ready to deal the heat. The dream is alive for Eric Zietz to go back-to-back. He's already outlasted 1,260 people. He's got to outlast another 40, and he will be able to complete that back-to-back. So we'll follow that journey as long as it goes here on Championship Day. Sounded like a very nice prize pool over the other side of the room today for the last chance tournament. I think I heard like 28,000 total prize pool. I don't know the numbers exactly, but it'll be a very nice payout. A weekend saver for a lot of these players who are able to make a deep run in that. And some crucial points on the line as well for everybody still in the hunt for that 2023 Player of the Year. That will be awarded at the end of this evening. Leo Leclerc under the gun with pocket nines, going to raise to 200,000. Steve on the short stack finds the ace king of diamonds. He is all in for his final 250K. His good buddy Kurt Baloki in the cutoff. He's out of there. There go 2 nines into the muck. But Leo does have the best hand at the moment. Sam has 2 5s in the big blind. He is out of there. So here we go. Ace king of diamonds for Steve. 2 9s for Leo. Steve's tournament life on the line. He's looking to get back. And he is going to just get the check mark right off the rip. As we can see, there are no 9s remaining. Ace, queen, deuce. He is going to sit back down. And a very dangerous player, just got a lot more dangerous, back up to 12 big blinds now, is Steve Belland. On to the next hand, Sonny Lehman. He's got the king jack under the gun. Looks like he wants to play. He's going to come in for a raise. $125,000. And it folds to Leo. He is all in now with pocket eights after losing that flip with the nines the previous hand. It might be a little too expensive for Sonny, and yeah, it is. Just the right amount, or Sonny's not going to be committed to make that call. So Leo Leclerc happy to boost his chip stack by 150,000 there. He's back up to 800. That is 16 big blinds. We're playing 25K, 50K, 50K big blind ante. Two denominations in play. We've got the purple 25K chips as well as the red 100K plaques. Gonna fold over to Sam. He's got 10-4 on the button, not interested. Leo picking up ace-king in the small blind. He just limps in, trying to set the trap here on Sonny. Sonny gonna check there with the jack-10. King, 4-7. Great flop for Leo, top pair, top kicker. So that bet will do the job there for Leo. On to the next one. Curtis Beloki under the gun, going to limp in with the pocket fours. Eric wants to play the queen deuce of clubs, though, folks. He's putting in a raise. He's got 1.9 million. Folds back to Kurt. He's going to make the call. Let's see what happens here on this flop. 5, 4, 7. Curtis, bottom set of fours. Eric left with queen high. We'll see if he wants to continue the story. He's going to bet 200 and a quick call from Kurt. Turn is an ace. He checks once again. Eric now picks up a gut shot straight draw. He checks it back. Can you find the Miracle 3 on the river? No, it is a 6. Pretty dangerous looking board. 4 to a straight, but Curtis is going to reach for chips. He bets in a quick fold. Pot there over to Curtis, shows a set of 4s.
Make sure I hear you. How about that? That's fair.
Sounds like we just lost Nate Anderson in 37th place.
Oh no, bad news from the outer table there. Defending runner-up Nate Anderson busting in 37th place. We will be breaking down to the final 4 tables now with 36 players remaining. Sad to see him go. Nice run once again for Nate. Folds to Steve. He's got an ace on the button. He's all in. Ace 7. His buddy Kurt's got King 10 in the small. He's out of there. And Eric is with Queen 6 in the big blind. So 125K in blinds and antes going over to Bagley, Minnesota's Steve Belland. Oh, we got a celebrity joining us here. A man by the name of Paul Wu-Tang Jane. He was one of our 5 Hall of Fame inductees this morning. I had the pleasure of inducting him myself. It was a very emotional moment. He is here for a chance at $52,000 tonight if he can go all the way. He started as one of our top 5 chip stacks of day 2. Hasn't played an RPT in almost 2 years. Comes on Thursday for the kickoff tournament and almost wins it. Gets second place, just like riding a bike. Right back on it. Here he is making another deep run like he has so many times in RPT's past.
Blinds up, last chance, 1,500, 3,000, 3,000 big blind ante. Last chance, blinds up, 15,330. Tommy.
There you see our chip counts. $2 million for Kurt Beloki, all the way down to $350K for Nick Boyum. 7 big blinds, the short stack here. Harlan Miller just joined the table. Looks like he is all in right off the bat with ace 10 for his last 10 big blinds. And Nick on the short stack with ace-5 of spades. Does he want to take his stand here or try to find a better spot to get that double up? He is going to get out of the way. Good fold from him. Sonny Lehman looking down at King Jack. He wants to play this one. Gonna raise it up to 150K. Paul Jane, he's got ace-7 of hearts. He's gonna call from the hijack. Flop comes Jack 4-3. Great flop for Sonny. Looks like that will end things quickly. Pot over to him. Curtis in the hijack. Ace-King of diamonds. He's going to raise and take that pot down. We're on to the next one. 35 players remaining out of 1,304 entries. A total of $52,000 going to the way of today's champion. Folds to Eric Zietz. He's got 7-6 in the hijack. He's out of there. Nick Boyum on the short stack. Ace-4 in the cutoff. Does he want to go with this one?
You're right, buddy. That's what I did yesterday.
Interesting. Nick on the short stack going to limp in the ace-4, sitting on a stack of only 4.5 big blinds. I'm not sure what exactly he's got planned for this one, but Leo's in the big blind with 6-3. The flop comes ace, king, 6. And that's going to be good enough for Nick. Leo not interested with the bottom pair there. All right, then. On to the next. Nick traveled over here this weekend with his girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever the title of her is, Julie Wadena. She played and she did some dealing for us during the busy times of these starting flights, so we appreciate her help. And Nick is still alive here for a chance at some huge money if he can run up that short stack. It folds to Nick in the hijack. He's got the 9-7 of diamonds. He is going to limp in because limping is pimping. Leo completes from the small, and Sonny is going to check the option with the queen-8 in the big blind. Ace, 9, 4. Pair of 9s for Nick out in front. He's all in. That'll do the trick. Curtis, early position, ace-9 offsuit, going to limp in. Nick Boyum. He's got king-jack. He's got 10 big blinds. Let's see how he wants to play. King-jack. He's going to limp as well. Like these guys are going to give Sonny a good price to complete with the Jack-6 and Steve, King-5 offsuit in the big blind. And he sees some weakness. He is going to pounce. That is a good play from Steve. All in for $575,000. Back to Curtis. He limped the ace-9. He makes the fold. And a nice play there from Steve to take those blinds and antes. 34 players
Stuff
remain.
going on over here, table 4. Looks like three-way all in. Cash is all in with pocket 10s. He's behind, but the good news is he's up against 2 pairs of pocket kings. 2 players have kings right next to each other. What a day this is. They're both wearing dark shirts. Flop comes queen, 3-3. Cash needs a 10. 10!
Holy smokes!
And they do 0-way to kings coming on the river, so once Cash saw that turn, he knows he's going to triple. Wow.
Cash. Wow, Cash Mitchell on an outer table, all in with pocket 10s. 2 players right next to each other had pocket kings. The flop was queen 3-3 and a 10 on the turn to lock it up for Cash. Big time triple up. I'm not sure if there's any elimination. Wow, what a hand out there. And Sam Fondrick find the ace king here. He is all in for $450K after Curtis opened. Nick flatted with 5s. We'll see how this one plays out. It's been some interesting play here from this feature table group. A lot more limping in this lineup than I've seen from the other lineups today. So Nick, the last one with cards, he's getting a pretty decent price after some dead money went in there, but he just doesn't have the chips to afford it. It's for his term in life. He is going to fold and try to find a better spot. Sam happy to stack up those chips. Reigning champion Eric Zietz is still alive, and he's got pocket queens right on cue under the gun. He's going to raise to 200,000. We'll see if he wakes up to any hands coming around the table. Sonny's got ace jack. Troublesome situation for him. He's got Eric covered. He's got one of those hands where you could definitely be very well dominated if you hit that flop with the ace or the jack. We can see that his ace is live as it stands right now. He makes the call. Paul's got the KL3, King 3 going into the muck. Curtis getting a good price with pocket 4s to do a little set hunting himself. So pot in progress with a very crucial flop, and it is 7-4-3. Middle set for Curtis Beloki.
Turn is a 7 of clubs. Now he's got to fade the king of the river.
Wow. How is this one going to play out? Curtis, first to act, he checks. This is bad, bad news for Eric Zietz, folks. Eric is going to bet 475. He's got 650 behind. Curtis all in, and Eric cannot believe it. Wow. He has not snapped yet, to his credit. He's going to put some thought into this. One of those small flops Curtis called from the big blind. He is thinking, what kind of hand can he possibly have right now? He can have the 5-6 suited. He can have all kinds of weird 2 pairs. And, of course, he can have the 7s, the 3s, and the 4s for sets. He can also be overplaying hands like pocket 8s, pocket 9s that he flatted with in the blinds. A lot of stuff to think about if you're Eric Zietz. He's put a lot of chips in this pot right now. And it is already $2.8 million in the middle. Curtis, a pretty unorthodox player if he has any history with him, but pretty straightforward with this play. definitely, as advertised, a monster set of fours. And Eric maybe wishing he didn't bet so much on the flop. 475,000. He's got 650K behind. There's also all the combination of hands like a pair and a flush draw. Possibly ace X suited with the flush draw, but he does call and see the bad news. Our reigning champion is in dire need of a queen. He's in dire need of running hearts. 9 of spades on the turn, and now he can only catch a queen, or we will have a brand new champion, and it is a king. Wow. And that will bust our reigning casino state champion, Eric Zietz, courtesy of Curtis Beloki. Oh, my goodness. What a hand. What a pot. Great run for Eric. The back-to-back dream is over in gross fashion there, but Curtis happy to be stacking up those chips. My goodness. What a pot. What a hand. Sad to see Eric go.
And we did unfortunately just lose Eric Zietz, your 2022 Casino State champion and 33rd place. Let's give this guy a hell of a round of applause, guys. So that's a hell of a run from first last year, making it down to 4 tables.
So I believe we're down to 31 players now. They just announced that he finished in 32nd place. So we're 4 away from pausing the clock and doing a complete 3-table redraw of 27. Once that happens, we'll take a short break from the live stream here to get these guys settled in and chip stacks counted. My goodness, what a run there for Eric Zietz. His bid for back-to-back Casino State Championships was very much alive. Set of 4s for Kurt. He is now one of the chip leaders in the tournament. And Paul Jane finding 2 kings on the button here. He's going to raise to 175,000. Curtis riding the heater. He's going to call, and he's going to be in trouble. The flop comes Jack 5-5. Kurt going to donk lead, and Paul Jane probably going to jam all in here. He moves all in for 825K. Top pair for Kurt. He's got a lot of chips. It's another, looks like about 600K to call. Wow, Curtis gets out of the way. So Paul going to scoop 525K extra chips to add to his stack. Could have been a little more bloodshed there, but he's happy to take it. Curtis stabbed that flop to see where he was, and he found out. Made a good fold. Okay, thank you. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. I already heard about Eric. Yes, I know. Okay, and... oh, no. And Terry Johnson. Yes. Jess, can I just see that really quick? So I'll let you guys know here on the stream our most recent bust outs from the outer tables. We just lost Eric Zietz in 33rd place, as you saw. Scary Terry Johnson, who was in the running for Player of the Year, he is out in 34th. Morris McKay from Canada, 35th. Kellen Hunter, one of the toughest players in the field from Minot, he was out in 36th, unfortunately. Yes, he was. Second place last year, Nate Anderson. Meanwhile, we have a nice pot in progress here. Nick is all in with kings on a 10-8-3 flop. Sonny's got nines. Kurt's got king-queen. Pair and an open-ender now for Sonny. Nick's got a flush draw with the king of hearts. He'd be pretty unlucky to lose this one now. Let's see this river card. 5 of diamonds. So Nick King is going to stand up for a big-time triple up. We lost one of our 2 triple baggers, Greg Pesa, in 39th. Steve Berger, J.R. Perleyberg. Bye, Jaden. A lot of tough players have busted here recently. Cordell Schroeder was one of the players who needed to win this tournament for a chance at Player of the Year. Kevin Selby got 59th place. He was trying to make a last-minute push. But yeah, those are some highlights, guys. Still a lot of tough players remaining, but we have lost a lot of big names as we are down to 32 players here. Casino State Championship. Folds to Nick Boyum on the button. He's going to raise it up. Yep. Full battery still. He raises to 125 with Jack 8. Harlan, another short stack, has the King 8. He folds from the small blind. And Sam is all in from the big blind with Ace 9 of diamonds. Nick quickly folding. Sam going to scoop that one. Oh, Paul Jane raising middle position with 9-4, but Leo Leclerc finds aces in the big blind. He's all in.
We did get your prize pool finalized in the last chance tournament. We had 122 total entries, 218 add-ons. We are going to pick the top 15 places. Main cash will be $480, all the way up to a first place prize of $8,000.
Wow, 8K up top in the last chance tournament today. Awesome prize pool. Top 15 places getting paid in the last chance. 8,000 for first. Awesome stuff here to cap off this amazing New Year's weekend. And Paul Jane with the San Francisco treat, the 49er. Saving some face, it looks like. Maybe he's folded already and the graphics are just stuck. No, he still has cards. We are getting close to that final 3-table redraw. Definitely something to keep in mind if you're Paul, probably. If you hear some players all in on the outer tables. Take a little extra time, never hurt anyone.
I thought I could only do this if I busted out.
Oh, he knows something. Look out.
Paul Jane, does he want to get back on the horse here? He does not with the ace-deuce in early position. Nick in the hijack? No, no thank you. Folding around to the button, Sam Fondrick. Not interested. Leo's got 4s in the small blind. He is all in. Will Sonny pick up a hand here? He's got King 10. This is kind of a close one. Blind on blind, it is kind of close here. Similar stacks. Sonny would be the one at risk. He's got 18 big blinds total. He's got something to think about for sure.
We will be doing a 3-table complete redraw when we hit 27 players, 31 remaining.
He's going to pick up the King 10. Looks like it's going to sail into the muck. Leo happy to take that pot.
I am also Jess.
Let's start talking to you.
Oh. All right, guys. 50, 75, 75. Congrats, everyone. Making it this far. Good luck.
And Jess Weldon, welcome back to the feature table. I hope you can deal us some absolute fuego action hands here. Thank you guys once again for joining us on this feature table live stream. It is currently 5:10 real time, and I couldn't make this stuff up, guys. 107 live viewers. Love to see it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and share and subscribe if you are watching us on YouTube.
Huge pot here. Looks like we just either lost Saki or Robert Gubbard.
Wow, sounds like Rob Urbach just won a huge pot off of Masaki Ova on one of the outer tables. As Steve Belland is all in with the 9-8 blind on blind.
Pocket kings for Robert Urbach. 975K double through Saki.
Wow, Rob Urbach over 2 million chips now. Amazing. Huge double with kings versus Saki Ova. There was about 100 players left, and I picked Robert as my horse to win this thing. He had a lot of chips at the time. Very good player. And right now, his chances are looking pretty good. He ran ace-king into kings earlier on this feature table. He was down to just 6 big blinds, and he has spun it way back up. Under the gun, we're playing 50K, 75K now. The blinds have increased. Curtis limps with King Jack of Spades. Steve completes with an unknown hand, and Paul going to check the King 3. Flop comes. Queen, 3, deuce. Paul with the best hand from what we can see. Unsure on Steve's hand so far. He checks, Paul checks, Curtis checks. Turn is a 6. Steve gonna bet now. Paul out of there with the King 3. As is Curtis. So Steve slowly picking up some blinds and antes, chipping away to a nice respectable chip stack once again. He's back up to 1,050,000. The blinds are currently 75K for the big blind. So he's got about 15 bigs again. Under the gun, Nick on the short stack's got ace-9. We've seen him limp on the short stack a few times already. He's in early position with a vulnerable hand, and he's going to give it up. Folding to Steve on the button with King Deuce. So Sonny looks like he raised in the cutoff with ace-3 of clubs. Curtis gonna fold there from the big blind. Chip leader of this feature table still Curtis Beloki with 2.6 million. All the way down to, looks like Paul Jane and Steve Belland, as well as Sonny Lehman, all just over 1 million. Oh, excuse me. No, Harlan Miller and Nick Boyum are the two short stacks at 425K and 375K respectively.
King 9 of spades. Henry's all in. He's up against Carey's Queen 10. Henry's looking to hold up here. Flop comes ace, jack, 6. Now he does not want to see a king. Turn is a 3. 5 on the river, king high for King Henry. Good for the double.
So blind on blind looks like a complete and a check. King 8 versus King 9. Both players airball. See who wants it more. Kurt checks, Nick checks. Turn is a 10. No pair, no draw for either player. Kurt gonna bet, and Nick quickly calls with the King 9 high. Interesting one here, and a king on the river. Kurt gonna bet again. 200K, Nick's got 350. He makes, they both hit a king on the river. He had the best hand the whole way. I think right now he's thinking if there's any merit in raising or just flatting. Yeah, he does just call. And he will show Curtis. He's got him pipped there with the King 9. Much needed chips for Nick to get him back up to 925,000. 29 players remain, 2 away from the final 3-table redraw. And a whole lot of big money ladders ahead. I believe everybody in the top 27 guaranteed $1070, of course. $1,070 is the next pay jump. So some of these guys may stay on this feature table, but we are going to rearrange everybody in the room, all 3 tables.